So here I am back to the YJ, my personal project here. We're going to start working on it. And yes, I was going to do this video, but I need this thing to run. Wait, that's supposed to be at the end of the video, not here. Okay, how we got there? We replaced the thermostat. There's the part number with the actual engine temperature sensor that needs to go there. And we replaced this crankshaft position sensor. Part number for that one, right there. So, started out here, I drained some coolant. Just enough to get me down enough that when I take that thermostat out, that I won't lose a bunch of coolant coming out of the mounting point and make a huge mess. So, take a little coolant off the top, and then get that sensor out without making a huge mess. So get me a wrench, start taking that thermostat out. They put that in there because they wanted to run an electric fan and have it cycle, but they also took away the PCM's ability to read the engine temperature, which caused lots of drivability problems for me. Check, make sure my electrical connector's good, still matches. There was some leftover crud from the plumber's tape that they used to hold that thermostat in. So stopped, cleaned that out, make sure we're good and ready. See, there's a piece of it right there. Good and ready to put the new engine temperature sensor in it. Sorry for my camera, it just couldn't figure out what to focus on. So, yeah, good and clean. There's the new sensor, got some actual thread sealer compound on it. Get it started by hand there. Get my wrench in here. Oh, nope, wrong side. Yep, nope, wrong wrench. Okay. Coming back to that. Let's get the right wrench in here. Come on. Where are you at? There you are. There's the right wrench. You don't have to be super crazy with it. It is a pipe plug, so it's got a natural taper on it. So just make sure you get it in there, get it snugged up. Of course, the sealing compound, helps take care of that too. So. It was getting pretty tight here. Stop, check my alignment to my electrical connector here. Yeah, a little twisted. Okay, yeah. Come back and clock it a little bit further, just so that connector's not twisting those wires so bad. And there you go. New engine temperature sensor. Then, here's the Loctite sealer, PTS 592. That's what I used on those threads. Now, under the vehicle, on the left side of the bell housing here is where the crankshaft position sensor is. So I did have some issues trying to find a workable tool. It's kind of tight in here. I was having issues trying to get those bolts free and broken free. Who knows how long they've been sitting down here taking on all the dirt and mud and water. So anyway, that little 1/4-inch ratchet just wasn't hacking it. I couldn't get enough space and torque on the bolts to break them. So here I go, try the bottom, having issues. So we're gonna get this guy out of here in a second and actually get a wrench that can do the job. So yeah, see, still trying, but it not coming out of there. So I don't know what I was thinking at this point. It was like, I'll just we'll just power through and hope for the best, and that still didn't happen. So yeah, you can watch me keep trying to fight, and then realize like that's not gonna work. Okay, yep, see, this longer got me in a better spot. Bam, broken free. Yeah, and working around that clutch line was kind of annoying. So good I was down here actually changing this part out, because I found out that that clutch line was rubbing on the bell housing down there next to that very bottom bolt, and came back. I put some fiber tape around it, made sure that I was safe from chafing and don't wind up losing my clutch. So now the bolts on the crankshaft position sensor are special to the crankshaft and position sensor, because they set the air gap for the sensor to work properly. So you definitely don't want to lose those or misplace those or do something crazy with them. Of course, I imagine there's probably a replacement bolt you could find out there that would probably do the job after looking at them. But yeah, through my studying on it, those bolts are pretty much the only thing that sets the air gap for that, and without them you're just out of luck. So yeah, get up here, get this last bolt out of here, show you like, hey, yeah, it's special. Okay, we got it. Get the sensor out of here. So I imagine that sensor was probably not working right, because I had a lot of stall problems. I had a lot of kind of weird backfire problems. I had some kind of weird idle things that would happen when it'd come back to idle. So get it out of there. The wiring comes up to the connector up here, and then they used a little, oh, wrong ratchet, wrong socket size. Let's get the right one in here. But anyway, it's held by a little piece of like metal tin. So, oh, that didn't fit either. Come on. Ah, there we go. That's the right one. Okay, anyway, it's held by a little piece of band piece of metal that just holds the electrical wire in place up here. So have to get that off, get it free to be able to get that old sensor out of there. So kind of work it free off that stud. Hang on to it, because you are going to need it to hold it back. I imagine in the future I'll probably figure out something else to hold that in a better location. But for now, it is what it is. So disconnect my old sensor, fish the rest of it out. I came out here checking it against my new sensor, make sure everything matches. That way there's nothing surprising going on. Make sure the new one has roughly the same amount of electrical wiring, so it reaches the connector. Try and get y'all back in here to see me kind of fish it back down in there. And yeah, see, there's that little band that holds it up here. Get it past all the junk, kind of get it going back to where it needs to be. Take my electrical connector, put it together. I mean, if you're gonna replace the sensors and stuff and not connect them, I mean, which I have found before on other vehicles I've worked on, trust me, please connect your electrical connectors. It will make cars run so much better. So yeah, had a little fight trying to get it back on there, but got it on there. I get the nut in here and I just start it just a little ways. That way the electrical wiring has some slack while I work on it down below, and then came back up and can finish it off later. Get the new sensor in here, just slips right in that hole, and then I spun it 360 to take some of the twist off the electrical wires. That way they're not so binding. And then there we go back with those special bolts to set the air gap. So and yeah, try to run them down as much by hand because, yet again, like I said, not a lot of space. That made things easier. Get back in here with my ratchet and snug them down and tighten them down, so no worried of those things falling out or coming loose. So, and I don't know if it's just me, but I always feel like I tighten stuff down, and then I'm like, well, did I tighten it enough? And I go back and I'll check it again, and like, oh yeah, I tightened it enough. It's okay. Could have let it go. Like, see, here I go. Oh, did I tighten it enough? No, let me make sure I try and snap the bolt, because I don't tighten it enough to begin with. So, anyway, get that back in there. Kind of show you the run. It goes back up to the top there if it'll focus there. And that was that sensor. I'm gonna get back up to the top here someday, and then come back in, tighten that, adjust the wiring up here so it's not chafing on anything or being overly pulled on, and try and get my camera set up so y'all can see what's going on. There we go. And of course it was starting to get late on me, so I had to bring in some flashlights and work with that and try and get some light on what I'm trying to show y'all. So, but yeah. So, yeah, like I said, checked on how the wire was sitting, got in there. Just gonna tighten that one down. So, a little kind of a pain, all that wiring loom coming out at one spot right where you need to work. Plus, this thing's old. I really don't want to mess up the wires right now because a lot of it's going to get replaced, but I don't want wiring problems keeping me from driving it because I need it to run. So, but yeah. Get that tightened down. Make sure we don't have any major wiring chafing problems. Then I topped off my radiator with coolant. So, there we go. And then there we go, at the end of the video, where it should be. She is running. So. And yes, by the way, I am working on the steering column video. It is about a 2-hour video, 3-hour recording, and I am editing through a lot of stuff. But it's coming.